Hello, what is going on? I am Matt O'Leary hanging out with you pregame for New York Jets versus the New England Patriots here in week 7. Can you believe it's week 7 already? I know that's like so cliche to say that, oh my God, I can't believe that it's already insert week here, but that's how I truly feel. And the Jets were on a bye early in the year in week 6. Kind of needed it, especially after how they looked in, I don't know, their first however many games, 5 games of the year. I was doing my research for this game, and it's just truly remarkable how poor the Jets are in the first half. It's unbelievable. That's the thing that jumped out to me the most. So, doing a little quick math here, because it's 13 points they've scored in the first half of 5 games. They're averaging 2.6 points in the first half of football games. What's up, guys, in the chat, by the way? That has to change today, right? If you want to change the second half of your season and at least play competitive football, I think that's all we're really asking for here, right? Is just play some gosh darn competitive football for a change. Is that too much to ask? And it's not like New England's they're this phenomenal offense. They're really not. But when you look at it, if you're averaging less than a field goal per half, how could you possibly compete? You can't. That's why they're sitting at 1-4. They had a miracle second half against Tennessee, but against Carolina, nothing. Against the Broncos, we know nothing. New England, it was tough first half against New England. There was a ton of turnovers. Man, the Falcons' first half was awful. Drew chimes in. This is perfect. Oh, nope. I got Knicks. I'm going to get to Knicks in a second. I better see some points in the first quarter. Drew chimes in and says, yeah, we better. You're right, Drew. Is it too much to ask to have like a good opening first or second possession? I feel like every single game, the Jets maybe pick up like one first down on their first 2 drives. Like they'll pick up a first down. They won't go 3 and out. They'll on their first possession. It seems like they always pick up a first down and then end up punting. And then the second possession, they go 3 and out. It's unbelievable, Drew. Now we get to Nick. Keep Mims on the damn field. Let him go up and get the ball. I think this finally changes now. I hope so anyway. I truly think that it ends up changing at this point after the bye. And the Jets start to use Mims and more. Those 2 guys have been criminally underused so far. And going into this season, everyone assumed that Elijah Moore was going to go off, and everyone thought that Denzel Mims would be a steady player. Because what he did at the second half of last year on the worst offense in football was it was remarkable, all things considering. But yes, I agree. Let him go up and get the damn ball today, please. Help your young quarterback. Every time this guy is on the field, he's making plays. Every time. It's unreal. Absolutely unreal. All right, let's see where we are. This scrolled down a little bit too much. Brian is in. He has a stat prediction for Wilson. 254 passing yards, 22 rushing yards, 2 total TDs, 2 interceptions. I hope we see him get over 250 passing yards. I don't have him that high. I think I had him. I don't remember what I had my projection at, but it was definitely under 254. I would be surprised if the Jets score 2 touchdowns in this game. It's just, we talk about how bad the Jets have been in New England in my life. The last regular season game the Jets won in New England was 2008. Brett Favre was the quarterback. I've been watching football since 2003. Okay, so that means the Jets, including the playoffs, have played 20 games in New England that I've watched. They are 3-17 in those games. 3-17. Their 3 wins, 2006 in the slop. Thank you, Kevin Barlow. 2008 with Brett Favre, no Tom Brady. Matt Castle was the quarterback. And then in the playoffs in 2010. It's been 10 years. Basically 11 years now at this point that they haven't won a game in New England. It's remarkable. Jet Life 45 says, I just heard no CJ Mosley today. Is that true? I'm going to look that up right now and see if I see any updates on it, because that would be a big blow. I know that it was supposed to be around the game time decision. So I'm looking online right now. Yes, he's inactive today. Oh, that's not good. Here is your list of inactives. CJ Mosley, Tyler Croft, Tevin Coleman, Jonathan Marshall, Jeff Smith, Adrian Colbert. Safety. CJ Mosley being out stinks. That's not great. Let's go to the super chat. Hang on, we're going to show this. Thank you, Brian, for the super chat. This game will decide whether or not I go to the game next weekend. You can have my money, Matt, but if the Jets want it, they better play today. Much appreciated, Brian. And I don't blame you 1 second. I don't blame you for a second. It's not the best of experiences going to the MetLife Stadium in order to watch this team play. Just at least for me, travel wise, it's not the best. And they got to show it, man. If they got blown out today, like why would you want to go? What's the incentive? The game I went to was the first home game of the year. I think it would have been a little more fun if they won in Carolina. The juices would have been flowing a little bit more, but even so, expectations were high. It was good. It was really good. But at the end of the day, if they're 1-5 and get blown out today, I wouldn't blame you for half a second, man. I wouldn't blame you for a second. Jet Life 45 comes back and says no Davis today. So Gerard Davis is not active. May is activated, which is a good thing. Sherwood is going to ball today. Jet Life comes back and says, I hope so. Jamie and Sherwood being back in the lineup is a good thing. I don't necessarily want to have to watch linebackers who aren't going to be a part of this team's future, but at least with Sherwood, at a minimum, I think he is someone who, I mean, let's face it, is at least I don't want to say building block because I don't think he's going to be like a stud, but he's someone who at least is like a special teams contributor and could play a little bit. So Brandon Jury Stan comes back. Speaking of MetLife. Oh, wrong one. Speaking of MetLife, it's a dump. Yeah, don't love it. Ryan, about to watch this in a lounge filled with Pats fans. Oh my Lord. I'm sorry, buddy. That's not fun for anybody. It's not good. I had the injury report ready to go. Can we pull that up a second? Tyler Croft out. CJ Mosley doubtful. Okay. Tevin Coleman questionable. Go back to this for a second. Hardy did not participate. This is from Thursday, so this is already kind of old. I guess not accurate. There we go. Here we go. Any news on Becton? It's going to be a little bit more time. It's going to be a little bit more time before we see Mekhi Becton, which is okay. I mean, we've the offensive line hasn't been an issue. That's one thing I'll talk about right now is the offensive line. Fant has done a nice job filling in on the left, and Morgan Moses on the right side has been steady. So it creates a good problem when Mekhi Becton is ready to come back because then you decide, okay, what are we doing at right tackle? Does Morgan Moses stay in? Does Fant move back over to the right like he was in opening week? And Elijah Vera Tucker has gotten significantly better week over week. Connor McGovern, I'm not a biggest fan of him, but he's gotten better as well. So that has not been an issue. And the Patriots, I don't really look at them as a team where they're going to necessarily get a ton of pressure on this New York Jets offensive line. I think it'll be a good day for the offensive line. And we'll see. Really hope Zach doesn't throw an int before a touchdown. Might snowball into a horrendous game again. I hope not. I think I'd be surprised if he's turnover free today. We haven't had a day where he hasn't thrown a turnover or fumbled or anything like that. So while I am hoping, fingers crossed, that there's a no turnover day until we see it, who knows? Brian Vacker, you still hashtag done with McGovern? I am still hashtag done with McGovern. He's been good, but it's just more of the off the field stuff. I am a Linderbaum stan. So draft your center in this year's draft class, and you don't have to pay a ton for McGovern. Ryan asks, can Fant play right guard? I don't think it makes sense size-wise for him. It's not. He doesn't look like someone who is able to kick inside. I would be extremely, extremely surprised. And I guess I'm not upset in a way that Greg Van Roten continues to get run out there. And the reason for it is, well, Dan Feeney is the next option. And Dan Feeney, I love his mullet. I love his energy attending games. But I don't want Dan Feeney starting for this team. Just don't. So I'll survive with Greg Van Roten for the rest of the season, I guess. Let's see what else we got in here. I think Mosley has a hamstring issue. Yeah, I think he'll end up being okay. I don't think it's going to turn into a huge thing today, but we'll see. It stinks that he's unable to go because if you remember from their first matchup back in week 2, CJ Mosley was phenomenal. He was all over the field. I was up watching with Green Bean in the upper deck, and all I kept saying was, man, this guy's just all over the field making tackles. Jet Life's back with another one, which is interesting. Is Fanta better guard than JVR? I think that's the question. Don't know. I don't think he's ever played it. So, maybe. Looking at how JVR or GVR rather has played. Can we do that for a second? Can we bring up some? I'll bring up the AFF numbers. If you give me a second here, I'll share my screen with you guys. Just let's do this. Stop screen. And we'll go line up. Hang on. Bear with me, folks. Share screen. Come on, boys. Chrome tab, PFF. Okay, here we go. Perfect. That'll work. Let me get you off here for a second so we can see the whole thing. Let's go down to the offensive line. It's gotten better. Fant 71.9, Vera Tucker 73.1, McGovern 75.7, rated as the fifth center rather in the NFL. Van Roten and Moses. So let's click on Van Roten. Will this give me a game by game? I think I could go game by game if I really dig in deep here, but view player page or no, in premium stats we'll go. Good question from Brian in here. I'm just not going to pop it up because it's going to take up the screen here in a second. I don't know why they are so down on him. Did this open a new tab? It did. Okay, so we're not going to do that. Sorry, because it's going to open a new tab and it's not going to allow me to share with you guys. But the point is, center and right guard play has gotten better. I see some comments in here about Mekhi Becton playing guard. That does not make sense at all because of his size. He's way too big to play guard, and you don't draft a left tackle that high and then screw around and move him to guard. It doesn't make sense. He comes back, he plays left tackle. That's the only option for him. Tight end, not good. 44.3 from Griffin. Moore, 56.5 on the outside, but I think that'll go up. Crowder's been good. Davis has been okay. We hopefully like to see him get better. Wilson go up. Ty Johnson, well, he's listed as the first one. I'm not exactly sure, but Jets running backs hasn't been great. Bryce Hall, I think that's a little low. Williams, that seems a little low on him. Fadukasi, good. John Franklin Myers, good, obviously. Huff, I think has been good. Quinnen Williams, that's a little low on Quinnen. I think he's been a little better than that. Niesman is a replacement level player. But yeah, we'll see. We'll have a better idea today. I love this comment from Nick. PFF grades are meaningless. If you suck, you suck. There you go. Let's get out of this view and go back to here. V-Man, what do you got, buddy? Matt, it appears you failed to factor in the Pats consistency issues into your Jets Pats videos. The Pats team can't string together 2 good games. This team that barely beat Dallas almost lost to Houston. Well, I mean, yes, this is definitely true, V-Man. Just based on history with the Jets in New England, it doesn't look great. And even last year, like New England stunk last year too, right? And they were terrible at the end of the year. The Jets were going in there. And I know as a new situation, new quarterback, new coach, different staff, players a little bit more motivated. So maybe that has a little bit of a factor in this. And I agree, like New England, there's nothing to write home about. They're not a good football team, but until the Jets prove it, I'm not going to be the one who picks them. I'm just not. I would love to be the positive, everything, the pie in the sky, but I'm not there yet. They got to prove it to me first. Hopefully the OC is awake during this game. Yeah, it's been a tough go of it for LaFleur, but I will say this. The bye week is the perfect time to reevaluate what is going wrong. Or I guess what is going right. Not much on offense has been going right, but in terms of how you can change some things, bye week is the perfect time. And what I would do, I said it in a video, is that if you were able to throw some screens on the outside to Moore, get the ball in his hands, use him on a jet sweep instead of Braxton, actually utilize Denzel Mims, try to establish a running game. The Jets' one good game that they ran the ball for over 100 yards was against New England in week 2. It's going to be heavy Michael Carter, I'd imagine, with Tevin Coleman out. Ty Johnson on early downs, I'm fine with. He cannot be on the field on third downs. Just an absolute liability in pass protection. Just can't do it. Just can't do it. So that's what I would change about this offense this week. Oh, Joe clarifies for me. He says, I wouldn't move back then. I'm just saying he would be a better guard than Roten. Okay, completely fair and rational then. My bad, Joe. Misunderstood. Jet Life, yeah, Johnson can't block. He can't. JB Allen, the problem with Becton, his strength is his weakness, his size. Guys that big wear fast, knees, ankles. It's what I'm worried about when we picked him, but he looked great, but needs to play. I get that. I think some of the injury prone narratives with Becton have been a little bit unfair. Like this year when he got hurt, it wasn't like a non-contact play that got injured on or anything like that. He got rolled up on. It was an unlucky play. So I agree. He needs to be on the field some more. He got rolled up on though. So I get it, but let's see. We got some more in here. Did you see the tackle that Ryan drafted in his mock draft? He's an absolute specimen. No. I hand up on me. Bad YouTube guy and bad friend. Ryan is a good friend of mine. I have not watched the video yet, so I don't know. Is it Evan Neal? Because I have him in my mock as well. If it is, then he is a specimen. I agree. But I did not see the video, so I don't know who he took. Was it not the right guard that rolled up on him? I don't think so. Maybe it was. I don't remember. I don't remember. You guys know better than I do. What do we got here? Do you think we see some good improvements from Zach today, considering he's coming off a bye week and playing a team he's already played, even if he is going up against Bills D? Yeah, I don't necessarily think he's going to have a 4-interception game. I think if he cuts back on that, then that's a huge step in the right direction. I think the Jets just go a little bit more conservative today. Hang on, I'm going to go back to this comment in a second. It's Falele. He's obsessed with Falele. That is no surprise. So I'm going to say he throws for a little over 200 yards, 1 turnover, 1 touchdown, which will be an okay performance. But I just think if it's not a day where his completion percentage is like 50%, the YPA under 6, like just a catastrophic day, then I'll be happy. Right? Like that it's the baby steps for me. If he looks like he's playing okay, YPA at like 7, completion percentage at least close to 60. I know it's not going to be perfect because the Jets offense has just struggled and the offensive coordinator struggled, but maybe get some easy completions going, trying to get him in a rhythm. That's what I would do anyway. Brian's back. My favorite right tackle prospect in the 2022 draft is Daniel Falele. There you go. From Minnesota. He is almost the same build as Becton, and I like the idea of having two behemoths that tackle for the next 4 years. I love it. I would have to do a little bit more Falele research because he's a big boy. He's huge. So I'm not necessarily opposed to making life significantly easier for a young quarterback by going heavy on offensive line. Jets gang comes in, and this is what I did in my mock draft. I don't know if you guys saw it. If you did, great. If not, no big deal. I'll talk about it right now. I want Neal and the center with our first 2 picks. That's what I did. I went Neal and I went Linderbaum with the Seattle pick. If they continue to struggle, that's a likely scenario. If they get Russell Wilson back and they continue to win a little bit, then maybe that takes you out of it. But like what the Jets did with Elijah Vera Tucker, they were able to trade up for the guy that they wanted because they had a boatload of picks. The Jets are going to have a ton of draft pick once again, and you can't keep having 9-player draft classes. You just can't do it. So you can move some of those later picks to move up and go get a guy that you really need and really want, which is what I would do with Linderbaum. If let's say like things go right when Russell Wilson comes back, and maybe they end up finishing like, I don't know, 9-8, and you're picking like 20th instead of 12th, and you want to move up in order to land Linderbaum, I'm all for it. Let's do it. Stacks. I want to get to this. We need to force some turnovers quick. The Jets, like their defense has been pretty good, but they need to create some more turnovers. They were able to do it in causing fumbles against the Atlanta Falcons, but can we get an interception? Like for as good as Bryce Hall has been, he's just missed the interception a couple of times, especially last week. They are overdue. And let's face it, they're going up against the rookie quarterback who are prone to interceptions. Mac Jones has been okay, but he's not interception free. So if the Jets want to win this game, which obviously I want them to do, I'm not predicting them to, but if they were to win, they need to create a turnover or 2. I agree with Stacks 100%. In order to win this game, you're going to have to make some plays. For instance, creating turnovers. Shepard better not start the game. I am #done with Nathan Shepard. That I agree with. We need playmakers on offense. I think the Jets do have some playmakers. I just don't think they're being utilized properly. I like Michael Carter a ton. I would like to use him in the screen game a little bit more. I also think that Jamison Crowder and Elijah Moore should both be in the slot. I would use less of the tight ends because they are not good. And I would just move the wide receivers around. They are so locked into having Elijah Moore on the outside, which I'm not opposed to doing. I don't necessarily think that he can't play on the outside, but his bread and butter is on the inside. Why not move those guys around? Have Mims as a big slot. Have Davis as a big slot. Hell, use Keelan Cole. I like Cole a lot. I think he can play. They just haven't used these guys. Can't wait for Stingley and Linderbaum. Oh, that's sexy. I like that. But just based on everything we've seen from this staff and from this general manager, I don't think they're going to prioritize corner that early. I'm not saying I necessarily agree with that logic. I'm just saying I would be surprised by that pick. I wouldn't be against it. I think he's a great player, and adding a corner to this unit of that caliber would be a really good thing for this defense. I just don't think, based on everything we've seen over the last couple of years, that they really put too much stock into that position. Maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? Come April, May, we'll find out. Who knows? Brian says, with respect, I would prefer to keep doing 9 to 10, 11 pick classes until Douglas is willing to spend on big free agents. If he does that this offseason, then fine, but I prefer more guys on the rebuild. I understand that. And on rebuilding teams, you're going to have a lot of draft picks, which is completely, okay. And you get your guys in here on the cheap, but there's limited roster spots available. And continuing to add in the 9, 10 guys, you're going to have to move some of the other ones out and some of the undrafted ones out. I think it was it Damian Woody? I forget who it was. I think it was Damian Woody who was talking about why they eventually are going to have to cut down on those numbers because just limited space in training camp and limited roster spots. But while I totally understand the logic and I don't necessarily hate bringing in his guys, I think he is going to be willing to pay free agents on positions that he really values. He brought Corey Davis. He brought in free agency and paid pretty big money for. Carl Lawson. He paid big money for. He wasn't able to land one of the interior offensive linemen in free agency, but I mean the Chiefs paid a boatload of money for their guard, a ton of money, and that's a team that's been to back-to-back Super Bowls. So the Jets not only have to outbid some of the best teams in the NFL in order to get their guys to come in, but like they're not going to be competitive in that market. So I don't necessarily get on him a ton for that. This is kind of where I'm at too. Why add more younger players to a bunch of young players? You got to have a good mixture of vets to win in this league. I think that's probably pretty fair. Oh, Jake Asman, what's up, buddy? JETS, Jets. Enjoy the game, Jake. Had him on the podcast earlier this week. So if you haven't checked that out, please make sure to do so and check out his channel as well. Good stuff as always. The staff don't even know how to use the wide receivers we have. That's what I've been saying all week, man. They have wide receivers. I got a few questions on Instagram. I did an IG Q&A earlier. Was it yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday. Because I've been a little light on videos, so I wanted to get into a Q&A. And there was a couple comments where it's like, do you think the Jets are going to spend big on free agency at the position? I don't know. I don't think so because Elijah Moore's not going anywhere. Denzel Mims isn't going anywhere. Corey Davis isn't going anywhere. That's 3 right there. Are they going to pay another big guy? I don't think so. I think they're going to want to develop the guys that they have. Jamison Crowder is someone who is going to probably in all likelihood be gone. Keelan Cole, do you bring him back? Probably not. I agree with Jets gang here. The staff doesn't even know how to use the wide receivers we do have. Nick Hunter pops in with this one. Hopefully JFM doesn't go full Mo Wilkerson the rest of the year. I would be downright stunned if they do that. Can I pull up his numbers? Let's do this. I would love to bring up John Franklin Myers' numbers. If this ever loads. Yes. Okay. Let's pull that up. So I'm going to ditch the comment as we switch to this. What did he do against Atlanta? He had 1 quarterback hits. Can we do advanced stats? Let's do that. So I got a million things going on this computer, and it's just taking a little bit to do these things. I want to see what his pressure numbers were like from that game against Atlanta. Why he was in coverage, I don't know. This just bugs me, but he had a quarterback hit, 2 pressures, which was a little bit lower than where he was at. I mean, monster game, obviously, against Tennessee, monster game week 1. So he came back to earth a little bit against Atlanta, but just I don't have an issue there. I don't think he's going to go full Mo Wilkerson. I don't think he's going to go full Leonard Williams. He's still young. He seems hungry. The difference between him, Mo Wilkerson, Leonard Williams, they were first rounders. Where I feel like the undrafted guys, they play with a chip on their shoulder. So I'm not worried about him at all, really. Let's go back to the main screen. Jet Life 45. We need a tight end above wide receiver and running back. I really think the Jets are going to go tight end in the second round. I've been saying that for a while now. And again, we're really, really far out from getting into the NFL draft, but just looking at the biggest needs on this team. Like the Jets, for whatever reason, they seem like they want to put a focus on this tight end group. They want their tight ends to play in this offense, which is completely fine. But at that point, you need better bodies than what they're running out there. You have to. So I think they either prioritize in free agency or the draft, which I think is exactly what we're at. It's Snoopy. True story. Mo Williams, I think he means Mo Wilkerson, was destroyed by the people he had around him, including my blood cousin. All they did was party 24/7. That's not good. I think this is a harsh comment. We need a good running back to complement Carter. Johnson and Coleman are terrible. Coleman's washed. Johnson, I don't think is terrible. Maybe they bring in like a Marlon Mack in free agency or something like that. I'm trying to think of free agent guys off the top of my head. Can we do that? It's a little early for free agency talk, but I'll do it. Gotta mute myself. 2022 NFL free agents. Okay. Ben Roethlisberger is a free agent. He's the first one that comes up on this list. I'm going to share it in a second. I just want to sort by position. All types, UFA, update. And we'll bring this back up. Let's hide the comment and go. That's no good because, yeah, it will ditch me. Melvin Gordon, no. Philip Lindsay, interesting. I'm trying to go probably on the younger side though. A Sony Michel, a Marlon Mack. I don't know. I don't want to pay a ton of money for one of these guys. Darrell Williams, like someone like that, I'm semi-interested in. Le'Veon, yeah, bring Lev back. Why not? Oh, well, that's not happening. Penny would be a good 1-2 punch. Maybe. Maybe they would be. What are we doing when we don't score no first half points again? Riot in the streets. They're going to go nuts. I really just hope that's not the case. I really hope that's not the case. Let's go Jets. Wilson revenge game. I would love a Wilson revenge game. Like that would be pretty big because all things considered, like Sam Darnold really never had that big moment against the divisional team. Maybe the 2018 win in Buffalo, but he never played well against the Patriots. He was out for a couple of those games, but if Wilson could come back and bounce back from his performance, that would really show me something. If they were able to steal a win on the road in New England against Bill Belichick, rookie quarterback, rookie head coach, that'd be impressive. I would love that. Big arms. How about let's talk about today's game? Yeah, let's do it. Okay. I predict that it's going to be 26-13 Patriots. And I think the reason behind that prediction is the Jets offense is going to struggle again in the first half. They're averaging 2.6 points per game in the first half. They've been much better in the second half. And the Patriots played a really good game that they probably should have won. They're going to be motivated. They barely beat Houston the week prior to that. They've been an inconsistent team. But Bill Belichick is always going to have the edge over any coach, especially a rookie coach. And against a rookie quarterback, 13-0 against rookie quarterbacks at home. Have not yet lost to a rookie quarterback at home. So some crazy outlier is going to have to happen today. It's not impossible, but if the Jets are going to do it, as we talked about earlier, they're going to have to create a turnover, at least one. They're going to have to play turnover-free football, have the run game going, which they did, and they're going to need a big game out of their linebacker crew without CJ Mosley. That is a huge, huge, huge loss. Significantly underrated loss. I don't that we need to talk about a little bit more. Where are we at here? I had a couple. There were some other comments that I wanted to get to, but I lost my place in it. We haven't won out there in a decade. Yes, 2010 was the last time they won. Regular season 2008. This is a good thing. They have 2 weeks to overthink things. I'm scared. You could look at it two different ways. You could either say that they are going to overthink and it's going to be another ugly start to the game, which I think is possible, or they're going to come out super prepared. Obviously, rooting for the latter, hope that they come out super prepared and are able to upset. But yeah, I'm kind of with you on there. And then Mick comes back. This game is terrifying. And he has another great comment too. That where is it? Crap! It just jumped down again. I hate StreamYard. I'm gonna delete Twitter if the Jets get bodied. Yeah, it's no fun after a Jets loss. The sky is falling. Everyone's bad. Zach will throw a 60-yard bomb to Moore. I saw the future. I pray to God that Ildy is correct. That would be phenomenal. If we get a huge touchdown like that we're able to see a bomb to the Wilson to Moore, especially early in the game, like to jump out 7-0. Whoo, Jets Twitter's going to be feeling themselves. That'd be a whole lot of fun. After 2 weeks of prep and second meeting, I understand struggling, but we should be able to score in the first half. If we can at this point, I don't know how we have serious issues. Agree. There is no lies in this at all. There would be serious issues, but we'll see. Game ends 17-10. Pats, Mac Jones 1 in. Jets defense gets 4 sacks. Pats run 175 in their win. Jets offense combines for 320. I think I'd sign up for 320. What did they have on offense the last meeting? I'm going to pull up the box score from Matt. I'll pop that up here. I can't imagine that their numbers have been good. Let's go back and pull this up. There we go. Games and schedule. This is just passing, but against New England, 184 and 152. We'll do a little quick math here. What's 184 plus 152? Is 336. All right, that's better than I thought it was going to be, actually. Some of these rushing numbers are just really bad. Can we talk about that for a second? 45, 43, 66, 64. They have to get the run game going. They only averaged over 4 yards per attempt in one of their games. 2-6, 3-3, 2-6, 3-6. Let's run to the left side. Find Elijah Vera Tucker, please. But yeah, let's pull up the box from this one game in particular. The first go around. They really dug themselves a big hole with all those turnovers. They really did. Let's see if we can scroll this down. It wasn't even a particularly great day for Mac. 186 on 30 attempts is a very low YPA. Divided by 30. 6-2. I thought they left a lot on the field offensively. They were very, very conservative. Harris ended up having a pretty good game. The Jets defense, for the most part, was really good that day. There were just a couple of lapses where they got lazy, but they were on the field a ton. This is tough. That is very difficult. So we'd obviously like to see an improvement there. And hopefully this 11 targets for Braxton Berrios. 4 combined targets to the tight 6 if you want to include Jeff Smith. Yeah, these targets should be distributed elsewhere, which is a completely reasonable take at this point. Yeboah needs to play, Jets gang says. I mean, yeah, but if you look at the tight ends who's been out there, it hasn't been a pretty sight. It really hasn't. So, yeah, why not? Jeremy, Sacramento, what up, dude? Breakout game for Elijah today. I really hope so. I hope so. That'd be so much fun if Elijah goes for like over 100, let's say, and a touchdown. Hell yeah. I'm sick of seeing Griffin. Why have all these young players? Why have all these young players? And we still need a vet that's done nothing. Don't know. Our D line will eat today. I hope so. If this is a huge day for the defensive line, then you're in good shape. You're in really good shape. Get pressure on your young quarterback, on the opposing team's young quarterback. He better. Ninja dude, Denzel Mims better play more than 3 snaps. He should have 3+ catches today. I don't know if he will, but he should. This would be pretty typical. I'm willing to bet that the Jets will score in the first half, but not in the second now. Typical Jets. So they just roll reverse. They put up like 14, 16 points, let's say in the first half, and then do nothing and lose like, I don't know, 20-14, 20-16. That would be extremely depressing. Injury report for the Patriots. Okay. I will pull that up for you. Let's do that. Give me a second here. Patriots injury report. This was updated 57 minutes ago, so it's pretty accurate at this point. Is it? Oh, this is just an article. I thought there was going to be a graphic here. Okay, I'll just read off the highlights to you then. Shaq Mason, right guard, will suit up. Jonathan Jones was placed on IR for them. He won't play. Juwan Williams will play. Stevenson, who's garnered a lot of attention so far with his flashy, will sit in favor of veteran J.J. Taylor. Shaun Wade is not going to play. He's still dealing with the concussion. Those are the big ones. Hightower's out. And then it goes on and talks a little bit about some of the Jets, which we've talked about. CJ Mosley, Croft out, Coleman out. I had a target here, or excuse me, I had a comment here that I wanted to get to. From Sean. Denzel Mims killed the Pats on Monday Night Football last year. He did. That was probably his I was going to say that was probably his best game as a pro. I think the Chargers game probably was. But this was a really good game that he put up. The one catch that I remember was him going over the middle and just like reaching out, stretching and pulling in the throw from Joe Flacco. It'd be nice. It'd be extremely nice to get him the ball. He did have a really good game. Pats win 23-17. Delusional Jet fan says, I'm kind of in that same boat. I think I had it at 26-13, but in the same ballpark. I hope Carmelo Albori's way says, I'm sensing the Jets come out and play like their hair's on fire. They better. If they want to compete in this game, that's what they got to do. Is it too much to assume Zach fixed his short accuracy issues during the bye week? No, I don't think so. He went home and worked with his quarterback coach. I don't think it's like, I really do think it's just in his head. He's made those throws before in the preseason, in training camp. He was making those throws. I just think he was playing at like a million miles an hour and just needs to slow down a little bit, which is why it goes back to the offensive coordinator, who I just think needs to make life easy and give him some easy completions, get him in a rhythm and get him some confidence. That's what it's going to be. He's just trying to force the issue a little bit too much. Jets winning, we take second place. Let's go. The run starts today, Jets gang. The run starts today. I hope so. LaFleur having so many scripted plays is a big tell about how he thinks he's better than he actually is. If your first go round, dumb it down a little bit. He did, yeah, it was like something like 40 scripted plays, I think. He does go off script, he said, but usually it's like the first drive that they script. Hope Zach doesn't force many balls today. Yeah, I'm with you. I think they're going to go a little bit more conservative with him today. I think based on what he did last go round, I think they're going to try to go a little bit more conservative. Here we go. We have a prediction on Jets win 24-16 Jets. Give it to me. Let's go. I'm all about it. How do you think Fant will do against Judon? I think he'll be fine. I think Fant has been actually good filling in for Mekhi Becton. Judon's a great player. He's having a good year, obviously, but I think Fant will be fine. I'm really not worried about the offensive line. I don't know if that's going to come back and bite me here, but I'm not. I think they'll have a good day today. I think it'll be a relatively close game for most of the way, and then the Patriots pull away a little bit at the end. Unless they create a turnover or two. If so, that's how you flip the script and win this game. Oh, I love this prediction. Start the game with the sack fumble on Mac, and we will have a win today. Yeah, how about that? First possession, strip sack from John Franklin Myers, fumble recovery in the red zone. Jets punch it in. Now we're cooking. Single-digit pressures and 0 sacks allowed. I agree. I don't think that would be a great sign. If Zach Wilson isn't sacked a bunch, that would be a phenomenal sign. I don't think he will be. Yeah, Snoopy's back. Judon is a power rusher. I agree. Fant should be fine. I'm not, again, maybe that comes back to bite us here, but I'm not worried about the pass rush from the Patriots. That's not my biggest concern today. Great comment from Jeremy, because it feels like this happens every single goddamn time. Can we please have a 2nd down and 5 where we don't go backwards? Yeah. Is that too much to ask for? Like, let's not go backwards and put ourselves in 3rd and long situations. That's another issue. The Jets are in 3rd and long seemingly all the time. Let's keep it in manageable situations. Has there been Morgan Moses trade rumors? I wouldn't trade Morgan Moses. I would not. Maybe you bring him back even. I think it's going to be a couple more weeks for Mekhi, if I'm not mistaken. No pain, no gain. How do you think the Jets are going to do with penalties on today's game? Well, it wasn't good last time, and they haven't been really that great in terms of not being penalized. So that's an issue. I think you're looking at maybe like 6 penalties. Zach found his legs to scramble. He needs to use his legs to get first downs, keep the chains moving. Yeah, they have criminally underused Zach Wilson's legs. And I think that he needs to realize it's okay to run. If nothing's there, pull it down and run. He's good at it. Why not? Run game has to be strong so LaFleur can roll out Wilson easier with the play action bomb. This is the one. If you want to utilize play action and get the ball down the field, which the Jets seemingly were trying to do against Atlanta, then you have to have somewhat of a threat of a run game. If there's no threat to the run, then this isn't, a feasible situation. It just isn't. Hear me out. If you run behind the left side today, I think we go for 150 combined rushing yards. I love it. I'm all about this. Let's get those rushing numbers up. Get them up. I think they need to run the ball today. Jet Life. Zach needs to go out there and play his game. Absolutely. Absolutely. Just get out of his head. Don't overthink it. Ninja Davis, Nathan Shepard, over, under 2 penalties. I'm going to say under. I don't think he plays that much today. If he gets over 2 penalties, just ship him to the sun. Michael Carter has over 100-yard rushing. Let's do it. I'm all for it. I'm kind of going to go rapid fire here and kind of wrap this up in the next couple of minutes so that we're ready to go for the start of the game here. So get your questions in quick. I'll try to get as many in as we can before the game starts. Appreciate you guys coming to hang out with me. It was an absolute blast. Jet Life says, run the damn ball. Run the ball. I agree. Becton out for the year? No, he'll be back. I think it's just going to be a couple more weeks. I'm hoping we don't get screwed by a crappy roughing the passer penalty. Oh, my God. The frustration in the London game. Quincy Williams got screwed on that. Use Elijah Moore on the Jets sweeps instead of Barrios. Preach. Agree. 100%. Pat's secondary is weak, honestly, with Jones on IR. If pressure is not getting there, got to run double moves on the inexperienced defense. All that is left is JC Jackson and McCourty. Rest our bums/rooks. Hopefully. I really hope that's the case. Oh, wow. The comments are coming in quick now. Over under 2 touchdowns today. No bias. I said under. I think they put up 13 points. Left side running, but again, we had 2 weeks to overthink it. I understand the thought there. If Fant continues to play well, do you sign him and trade back? Oh, no. We're not trading Mekhi Becton. What's the first score of the game? TD or field goal? I'm going to go field goal. Thoughts on trading Crowder and May? I feel like Crowder is good, but he could hinder Moore's growth. I think I would keep as many weapons for Zach as humanly possible, but I'm not opposed to it. I'm not banging the table and saying you absolutely cannot trade Jamison Crowder. If they do, okay. If not, I'm okay with that too. Corey Davis, no drop passes, please. Absolutely. A couple more here. Elijah Moore breakout coming. Zach, solid game and Jets win. Also, defense getting an interception, putting out positive vibes. Go Jets. Denzel Mims touchdown fade pass, please. Absolutely. That'd be awesome. I think Crowder has a great game today. I hope so. I really do. That's going to wrap it up for me. Stay tuned throughout the game. I'll be on Twitter live tweeting. You can follow me at Matt O'Leary NY. After the game, I will be, of course, doing my video, so look out for that. Tuesday, I'm on with Ryan and Green Bean doing the Jets panel. New podcast episode Wednesday, and then the coverage for the following game begins after that. Thank you guys for riding with me. Hopefully I'm wrong. I hope the Jets pull up an upset win. Let's get a W in New England. That's going to do it. I'm Matt O'Leary. Talk to you next time.